what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point.
Yeah, I wish... And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common folk like us.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm still kind of shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory. Though, to be fair, I think that building was abandoned till this year. Seems like they renovated it just for us.
Well, they did a good job. It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey, you're in our way. Step aside at once. Class 7, I see.
Is something the matter?
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving.
Yes, Patrick! A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are. Never.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles. Thank goodness Laura and Eustace aren't like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. That's the infamous dormitory number 1, where all the nobility lives. It's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and butlers and everything.
Wow, really? Guess that's our cue to pick up the pace.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't sound like you have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking. It's hard to decide on one.
Stand, bow, be seated.
As I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian Empire was driven to the brink of collapse roughly 250 years ago. This was brought about by the conflict we know as the War of the Lions. A civil war lasting several years, staged over the throne of the late emperor by the most powerful of his potential successors. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that. If I were, I think even young children would be able to pass this course. Rather, I'd like to discuss the effects this had on the empire as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war. Many hired mercenaries turned to looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low. But then, lo and behold, into this nightmare stepped a man willing to take a stand against this bloody war of succession. He was a wandering prince who began to... And that name, of course, was Drycles Ricey Arnor. He would later become known as Drycles the Lionheart, the 73rd Emperor of Erebonia and father of the Renaissance. Not to mention the founder of this very academy. Drycles' army was initially rather small in number, but as he traveled across the empire, winning over the hearts of influential sympathizers, his forces rapidly increased. Now, The place where Emperor Dreikel's first began gathering his army was... Reen Schwarzer, would you...
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes. In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library
Of course! This school shuts down for no one, so feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of clubs have meets scheduled for these free days as well, so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
I'll be certain to do so.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week. On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical
What does that entail?
It's part of your combat training. You'll be graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by that. Might be a good idea to do some training on your own time too, just to keep from getting rusty.
I definitely don't like the sound of...
Oh, and one more thing. After the practical exam is over, I've got another important announcement about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that
What?
Here it comes.
So, whatever you choose to do on your free day, make it count for something. That concludes today's homeroom. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow.